This video was brought to you by Boxu. Use the link down in the description for $20 off your subscription. Hey everybody, Jake here and welcome to the hobby. I'm currently going through my collection, sleeving up some Pokemon cards into card savers, which is just normal. And some of these cards I would love to send off to get graded. But in today's video, I really want to talk to you guys about what Pokemon cards should you be grading right now. Grading prices have dropped a little bit for a lot of different Pokemon cards. Grading fees are a lot cheaper now. Prices are dropping across the board for BGS, PSA, CGC, pretty much any grading card services you are currently using. Prices are just a little bit more affordable, so I definitely plan on sending some Pokemon cards away to get graded. But I just really want to talk to you guys about what you should be currently sending off to get graded, because I have a lot of cards that are in card savers. That doesn't mean I'm going to grade these cards right away. Some cards sit in my collections for literal years before I send them off to get graded. Some cards I grade as soon as I get them, and it just really depends on the current value of the market and what card do I think deserves to get graded immediately. Before we get started, I like to share with you guys today's sponsor, Boxu. Boxu is a monthly subscription service that delivers premium Japanese snacks straight from Japan to your door. This is my second month subscribing to Boxu, and I got myself the Hokkaido Holidays box, which features all kinds of different snacks that are specific to the Hokkaido prefecture. Inside of the Hokkaido box, I see I have myself some Mochi Puff. The last one was really delicious, so I can't wait to try those. Looks like we also have some apple gummies. Never tried these before. I think these will be a lot of fun to try. And inside the box, I see we have a bunch of different variety snacks that I'm going to be really interesting to try out with my partner. If you'd like to subscribe to Boxu, then please use the code TBJake for $20 off your very first subscription box. It's actually a really good deal. I highly recommend you guys at least try them out. Boxu has been a great subscription service. I haven't been able to get enough of these apple gummies. I wish I could just buy them myself. They're really delicious and some of my favorite products so far inside of the subscription box. I just never know what I might get. Really enjoying Boxu so far, and I actually really recommend them. So what kind of Pokemon cards should you be grading right now? A good rule of thumb for me is if a card is worth at least $100 after being graded, and this is going to be based on your own educated guess, then it is probably worth being graded. I think $100 is a good price target to just recommend a card being graded. If a card is not going to be worth at least $100 after being graded, then it's probably not worth being graded right now. You can still grade those cards, but I just don't recommend them because every single graded Pokemon card right now is just so expensive. I mean, if you send 5, 10, 20 Pokemon cards to get graded, you're easily charging yourself $500 to $1,000 very quickly in terms of grading fees. So right now I'm just looking through all of my card savers and just trying to see which cards deserve to get graded. For example, like this Karen's Conviction, secret rare, nice card, hard pull, but it's not going to go for at least $100, and I'm not a huge fan of the rainbow rares. That's another thing that I would put out is personal preference. For me, it's not the kind of card that I would display, so I don't really want it. However, Red's Challenge, a really cool card. One of my pulls from Tag Team All-Stars, a really cool card, and I would love to get this card graded. It's probably valued at around $100 in a PSA 10, and that's a good condition card. I think I would grade this card, so I'm going to put that in a grading pile for now. Pikachu and Zekrom, Tag Team GX. I'm going to have to look at the condition on some of these cards. This one I would say is closer to a PSA 9. I'm not guaranteed to get a PSA 10 on this card, or I'm not confident enough that this card is going to get a PSA 10. PSA 9s are really fine, but at this point, only the PSA 10 would probably be valued at $100. So this is not a card that I would personally grade right now. I might grade it in the future, especially if there's some kind of grading specials right now. Next up, we got a Mimikyu, secret rare, another adorable card, going for around $20, ungraded. PSA 10, maybe not that level. An E-Series Pikachu. Now let's look at this card. Ooh, oh, it is definitely not PSA 10 condition. It's probably closer to PSA 8 or 7. So that's not one I'm going to be currently grading. Next card up, we got ourselves a Pikachu EX. I have so many copies of this card. Gave away some for the holiday giveaway. A really cool card. Been trying to get a PSA 10 version of this card for a very long time. A PSA 10 version of this card is going for upwards of $1,000. So this is a card that is actually well deserving to get graded. But can I get a PSA 10 version of this card? If I look at this copy, got a little bit of whitening on it. If you can tell, there's just a little bit of whitening around the edges. Pretty easy to spot on this card. I would say maybe PSA 8, which is nice. Might grade. I'll put this one on an iffy. It might be worth it. Next card up, we got a B card. I already sent in one of this card to get graded. Gave away 2 or 3 copies of this card in my holiday giveaway as well. Neat card. This one is actually really solid centering, and you know, I already sent off a B to be graded, so not gonna send that one. I have like 200 cards off at grading services, and they're gonna be coming up back in the next month or two, so I'm really excited to get back some of these cards. Next card up, we got ourselves a Rayquaza. This one I know for sure has a really solid shot at being a PSA 10. Great centering, and I already know that there's no whitening on the back because I sleeved up this card myself, and I remember examining it. This is a card I would love to get in a PSA 10. However, everyone and their mom is currently grading this card. There's a bajillion copy of this amazing rare Rayquaza out there, and I'm sure a lot of them are currently at PSA. I have PSA orders that are outstanding from 16, 17 months ago. Back in 2020, that's when I sent out some of these PSA orders. So I know there's a lot of Rayquaza out there that are currently being graded, and honestly, for a card like this, I think prices on it are going to drop over the next couple of months. And so if I want a PSA 10 copy of this card, I might as well buy one on the secondary market that is already graded in a PSA 10. I don't think this card is worth my time to grade myself. Some other cards. We got another full art tag team card. Not one I'm particularly interested in. We'll put this one in the maybe pile. So as you guys can see, I only have one single card that I actually want to get graded right now. And that's really comes down to being picky. You have to really narrow down which cards you're going to grade. I have a lot of cards that I have currently sleeved up in hard cases, but I don't plan on sending off to be graded right now. And they might still be graded down the line. Trust me, I know collectors out there who have thousands of ready to be graded cards. They're just ready, sitting to be graded. They're not planning on grading them yet, and they might grade them in the future, especially as some of these cards become a little bit more rare and become expensive down the line. We got a Grookey on the ball card. This is actually a neat one. I have this one in an actual sleeve package. I never opened it up, and this one is actually a neat one. I think I will actually grade this card. It's got a really nice centering on it, and I think this one has a great shot at being PSA 10. They will actually keep this card inside of this sleeve, which I think is really neat. And I have very few cards in my collection that are still inside of their sleeve, so it would be nice to keep this one inside of the plastic. So this one I will actually grade. I don't think Grookey on the ball is super expensive right now. The Pikachu on the ball, now that's an expensive card. We got ourselves a Rocket Machamp. Do I want to grade this card? I have, oh, that's a really nice Machamp actually. Probably PSA 9. We're going to put this one in the maybe pile. Next card up, we got ourselves a Neo Holo Lugia. Now that is a really cool card. This is a card I want to get graded regardless of condition. So this is a great one for an example, because whether this card is PSA 1 or PSA 10 does not matter. I want this card graded. So we're going into the grade pile for this card. 3 cards to be graded so far, not too many. We got a Unigaba Pikachu. I am a huge Pikachu collector, go figure. You might have already figured that out. Nice card, not super expensive. Actually one of the most affordable Pikachu promo cards right now. There's a lot of copies of these floating around, but it might get more rare down the line. There aren't a lot of these cards currently being graded, and this one is probably a very close chance of being a PSA 10. So I'm going to actually put this card in the grading pile. Next one up. Oh man, our grading pile is starting to get pretty thick. We might have to narrow some of those down. A Marnie full art card. This is one that I pulled from my own personal collection. Centering on it, really solid centering. That's a nice center. Marnie on the back, again, really nice centering. I've seen some terrible centerings on these ones, and this one's good. I would say this one has a 60 to 70% chance of being a PSA 10, and I am starting a robust full art trainer collection. I've seen so many people send me DMs of their full art trainer collection, and mine cannot compare yet, but one day I'll show off one hell of a collection. Oh, we got the beauty looking back Pikachu. This one, centering, not bad. I would say 60-40 centering. Not the worst. It's definitely passable for a PSA 10. I pulled this card straight out of one of the Japan Post box, centering on the back. Great, no whitening. This card by itself is currently going for around $100, I think. Ungraded, this card's already going for $100. This is one definitely passes the grading test, so that one will definitely grade. We have the Swooping Cramorant card. Do I want to grade this card? The centering on this one is worse than the beauty looking back Pikachu. And another thing I would like to note is for modern Japanese card, PSA, BGS, and other graders do tend to grade a little bit more harsh on the Japanese cards because they are all so immaculate. And so you got to be a little bit more picky when it comes to the Japanese cards because they are so high quality that even the slightest of errors will drop the grade to a 9. Like a PSA 9 Japanese card might be a perfect PSA 10 English cards in some cases. This one I'm not so sure about grading. I might open up a couple more of the Japan Post box and actually grade this card myself. So I'm going to put this one in the maybe pile. It is an expensive card, but I don't think that one's going to get a 10, and I think that one, you want in a 10, nothing lower will work. Now we got the Espeon promo card from the Eevee Hero Special box. This card, once again, ungraded, is a very expensive card right now. So I will send this card off to be graded regardless of its condition. And I think this one, I mean, it's a great card. Centering on it is perfect. I think this card has a great shot at being a PSA 10. Really gorgeous card. One of the best cards to come out of this year. Next up, we got a Neo Heracross. Might have bought this one from the same batch as the Lugia. Very different from the Lugia, though. It's a really cool card. I think it is actually a little bit underrated, but however, the centering on this card is abysmal, and I think this card will probably get like PSA 7. Is that worth getting rated? It's actually a maybe. I think for vintage cards, you definitely can get a pass for PSA 7, PSA 6, and even lower. But once you go to modern card, it's PSA 10 or bust. So this one I'm going to put in the maybe. Next up, we have some EVV Max. So abundant, so many copies of these cards out there, and a lot of people are grading them. This is a card that I would hard pass on grading right now, just because of how many people are currently grading them. We got ourselves actually a pretty cool one. The Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno Stained Glass Bird, ungraded. I bought so many copies of this card when they were going for $8. This one's in nice condition, but a bit off-center. I have many copies of this card in a PSA 10 condition already. Do not need to grade another, so I'm going to hard pass on that. We got ourselves a Fossil Articuno. This is one we might actually grade regardless of condition, and it's in great condition. Wow, this one's probably going to come back as a PSA 8 or 9. I don't think it's going to get a 10, but not bad. Definitely an 8 or 9. Pretty much near mint condition. I don't see any scratches. No issues on the back. And guys, I've been talking nonstop for like 10 minutes. I can keep going. These are just so cool. I can talk about Pokemon cards all day long. We got ourselves a Rocket Alakazam. Pretty darn hard to find. There's a lot of Alakazam fans out there. A little bit worse than the Articuno, but in great condition as well. Actually, are we going to grade the Articuno? I might, I don't know. The Alakazam, a little bit worse in condition. We'll put that one in the maybe pile. Next card up, we got ourselves a Fossil Mew. Really cool card. This one is also in pretty nice condition. Probably a 7 or an 8, not bad. Mew is super popular. I can trade this card any day of the week. Anyone would want this card. People love Mew, and this is sort of like the Mew rookie card, I would say. First set that really printed with a Mew. So I think we will actually grade this card regardless of condition. So yeah, I can keep on going. I have stacks and stacks of Pokemon cards that really need to be reviewed and just see if I want to grade them or not. We got a nice Holo Charizard right here. Sun and Moon promo number 226. This one's actually a nice card to get graded in a PSA 10. I bet you it's going for $100 or more. Nice condition. I don't know why I didn't grade this card. I was probably being very picky. This one looks to be about a PSA 9, but it has a, I would say, a coin flip chance of being a PSA 10, and that might be enough for me to grade that card. So we'll send that off to the grade pile, and I will keep doing this for the next hour or two. This is part of what I think is really fun in the hobby, is going through your collection, sorting all the cards out, and seeing which ones you want to display, grade, sell off, trade. You know, those are the big areas in the hobby right now. And we got a nice decent stack of cards that I think I'm going to send off to get graded. Most of these cards are valued at about $100 at least after being graded. And some of these cards, like this new Neolugia, I'm going to grade no matter what, just because I think it's a darn cool card, and I would love to have this card in a graded condition regardless of what grade it gets. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys decide what cards you should be grading out and what cards you should be looking out for. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.